This is my first consultation call with Trade Brigade, which will discuss the first steps I took to improve my day trading career. This is part one of a new series I will be making, and the goal of this is to show the audience firsthand what it looks like from a day trader started from ground zero to a developed and consistent trader actually looks like, and the process and steps it takes. And to demonstrate my personal story of what it was like for me as a beginning to currently where I'm at now as a day trader. And in case you don't know, Trade Brigade is a seasoned veteran. I highly recommend you check out his channel as he is best in terms of giving you in-depth analysis of what a chart says on the close of day, Wednesday analysis, weekend analysis, and with his live video pre-market sessions that he has 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning. I first got in contact with Trade Brigade about 3 to 4 months within my day trading career, and I'm currently 2 years in my day trading career. I spent countless days and many sleepless nights trying to figure out how to crack the code and how to master this. I would say I have much left and much more to go, but I have done a much better job becoming consistent and finding ways to really deal with this. And I have a lot of thanks to Trade Brigade, and I just overall wanted to bestow the knowledge I've learned from the sensei himself that I got myself onto you guys. And this is going to be a series. It's going to be episode by episode, part by part, showing everything that I've learned. And there's many things that you will be able to take from it that can become valuable for your career and your journey as a day trader, guys. So with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to Day Trading Knockouts. Besides that, take care. Peace. Let's get into the video.
Hello?
Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Cool, man. What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not bad. Not bad. I'm doing all right this Sunday. So, yeah, I read the little description that you left in the calendar note, and it seems as though it looks like my screen is loading, apparently. I don't know what that means, but let's try that again. You should be able to see my screen in just a second here. There we go. And so I was reading the little note there, and seems like you had some success for the. Okay, so struggling first few weeks, had a few weeks that was consistently green, and now there's another patch of struggle here that you're trying to resolve. So in order to like figure out what's going on, I'd love to hear about kind of your trading journey so far, what you trade, how you trade, what time frames you're trading, those types of things, just so we can make a general assessment of kind of what's going on here and hopefully get you down the right path again.
Okay. So yeah, I can make it kind of brief, but make it as as detailed as possible. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so basically, I was introduced to the stock market about 2 years ago, but I didn't really put time into it because at the time I was focused on other things with like sports and stuff like that.
Sure.
And yeah, so then now, and I kind of just watched the course, but I didn't really pay too much attention over. Are you familiar with Carmine Rosado?
I know who he is. Yep.
Yeah, so that's who I was pretty much following. And then when I came back and like I was actually focusing, which has been about a 6 month period of, or 5 to 6 months, somewhere around there, where I've been working hard on it. I started off doing his strategy basically with like volume profile, supply and demand zones. And yeah, for a while I was struggling with that. But then, like I mentioned, around the end of December, I was actually finding consistency with it after I was implementing his stuff. But then the person that introduced me said that there's a better way to do it. And he introduced me to your thing also. And I started off kind of he has this weird setup. He has certain things that he does that you don't talk about on your channel, but I've been trying to mix in his stuff with your stuff kinda.
Yep.
And I've been making progress with it now, but a lot of time what I trade is SPY on the with my Thinkorswim platform with TD Ameritrade, and I've been following your pre-market plan and everything. And the one of the main things that I've had trouble with is like market open, trying to get the gap fade. That was one of the things. And then also, again, it's just a whole different setup. It's just learning something completely new. So that's why I've been having trouble with it.
Gotcha. I see. So trying to integrate some of the rules that I follow each morning into your trading system that kind of has more of a foundation in supply and demand. Is that kind of accurate?
I mean, kind of. I use his supply and demand zones still, but that's not. But I use a lot more other stuff also, but kind of integrated a little bit also. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So so you must be like a day trader then? I'm assuming, right? You're focusing on day time frame stuff, not so much long swing trades.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And I try to trade from 9:30 to 12. I used to be able to do it all day, but now I only have like from 9:30 to 12 available
Yep.
from Eastern Standard Time.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, so yeah, let's dive into then what particular like so the gap rules are very specific, right? They have a specific time and place to be put into play. Okay. Um, so yeah, let's dive into then what particular like so the gap rules are very specific, right? They have a specific time and place to be put into play. Obviously, when there's a gap and when it's a sizable gap and the risk reward is favorable for the fading of that gap. But aside from the gap rules, do you have like a go-to strategy of how you enter and exit trades? Like, what is the criteria specifically that causes you to say yes to a trade? I'm going to get long here, or no, or I'm going to get short. What is the specific trigger that you look at to enter a particular trade? Is it based on an indicator? Is it based on price? Is it based on a level? Like what is that very specific thing?
Well, I actually can show you, but I'm actually having trouble with my computer because right now I'm on my phone with this thing. But are you seeing another person trying to join?
Yeah, I just allowed that.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to share my screen to show you. I don't know how to share screen. I'm not too well with Zoom, so
Yeah, hang on. There's something there's a setting here.
Can you hear double talking?
Yep, I can mute. Would you prefer I mute the phone or your computer?
I can just exit out of my phone. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Still got me? I don't know if you can still hear me. I can't hear you now. Um, but if you can hear me, I can't hear you. Yeah. What I'm going to do is turn this to all participants. And you should be able to share your screen now. I'm going to pop open this chat thing. I can't hear you now that you Okay.
Could hear you. I could hear you just fine, but I couldn't talk, I guess.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of
But yeah, I still have the computer Zoom up. I just turned off the audio for it.
perfect. Cool. All right. So you should be able to share your screen now. I turned on this setting. Can you see the settings box or just the Thinkorswim window?
I can see your Thinkorswim platform. You're moving your mouse around right now.
Okay, so Zoom is probably hiding the Zoom box there, but it says who can share. I set it to all participants. So now if you want to share your screen, I can basically turn my screen share off. And
Okay.
then somewhere on your Zoom platform.
Yeah, I see. Share screen.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Yep. And then it'll
Okay.
just ask you what screen you want to share, and you can choose either a desktop or you can choose a specific window, and then it'll
You see
pop
my
up.
screen?
I think it's loading. Yep, there it is. Got it.
Okay. So, yeah. So I noticed that you like to do it on naked chart almost. Like I almost
Yeah.
besides the internals, but that's what I used to do also. But again, like I mentioned, the friend that I had wanted to introduce these what's it called? These indicators. I
Sure.
use volume as you see down here,
Mm-hmm.
and you got a tick chart right here. Now, are you familiar with Heikinashi?
A little bit. I
Yeah, a
understand
little.
the basic principle.
Okay, so yeah, I got the Heikinashi. There's a Laguerre right here. Then this is a TDI arrow. It mixes in with Heikinashi also, and this is called the Savage. So basically, my rules right now. Oh yeah, and then there's VWAP right here with outer deviation bands, the red and the green right there, and
Mm-hmm.
then this outer. This is they call this the fast lane or whatever. Like if it stays here, it's supposedly like supposed to stay here, and once it exits, that's where you put a stop, depending on if you're going off of VWAP rules for that trade. But right now, my rules are this. So I actually took a trade based on the gap rules this past Friday. You know, I was playing the gap fade. Hold
Mm-hmm.
on, hold on one second. Let me just. Today's the third, so yeah, I took one trade. I lost a whopping $1, as you see right there.
Yep.
So let me move it back to Friday. Oh shoot, this Friday. This is yeah. Oh, that's the second. So yeah, I played
There it
it.
is.
Yeah, there we go. So I waited for this for the first sign of red right here. So I actually
Mm-hmm.
entered on this candle right here. Now my rules are this: I wait for the gap to go up, and then I wait for the first sign of red, and then my entry will be based on this indicator right here. With the way it works is he says you should get in on the yellow dot and the red arrow. For this situation, that would have been a good entry,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was good. The only reason I lost is because I stopped out too early. Uh, and right here I would have made like, because I trade one contract right now. I trade small. I would have made about like $30, but
Mm-hmm.
that's how I play these gap fades. I play it differently from like later in the day to gap fade because they're more quicker here.
Yep.
But yeah, my targets are VWAP and then the outer deviation band, and then I exit my position. That's what it would have been right here for this trade.
And what would the max stop have been on that trade?
So I had it at the top of this candle. I think I exited a little, or put the stop a little too high for this trade for the R&R.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make an adjustment with that where, oh shoot, hold on. So yeah, I need to make an adjustment with that where I can't risk more than 40 cents on a trade on this type of trade.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's definitely a lot going on here
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not necessarily overly familiar with, like the indicators on the bottom, for example. Um, to me, those are just, and everybody's got their own strategy. Everybody finds what works for them, right? So for me, that would be a lot of a distraction. I find that stuff a bit, like if you hover your cursor on, let's see, like, is there something other than, do you need a confirmation other than an arrow and a yellow dot? Because if you take every single arrow and every single dot,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're probably going to be, like, if you look at where the market was going sideways up towards
Yeah.
you know, not every single signal is kind of legit. So is there another deciding factor? Is it just the time? Like, would you prefer to take a signal early on in the morning?
So actually, I actually ran into that because the first time he just said get in on every. I don't follow everything he says, but I have found it to be kind of helpful in a way. I don't just take every setup. Like a few things. One, I like to look at a macro time frame first, like so that you have. So for example, if on a 4-hour chart,